This episode was really a 22-minute non-stop action sequence. Very cool stuff. Introduction to a new character, and just awesome.
Akame ga Kill, Episode 11, Kill the Mad Scientist.
This is... I can't contain it. Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, and I'm here to bring you another review on the awesome and inspiring and action-packed and night raid-filled tale of Akame ga Kill. Now, the last episode, of course, saw us with really the ending of it being this mad scientist, if you will, this Dr. Stylish, and some of his kind of mutated humans, sort of amalgamations of humans that have maybe been evolved or something like that. They had found Night Raid's base, and of course, Najenda had left, was gone, and was going to be returning after she wound up meeting up with the Revolutionary Army. But that's how things left off. And things pick up, man. This is one of those, like, you just put your foot down on the pedal, on the gas pedal, and you just hold on to the steering wheel and pray to God you're going to make it through, you know, because it's just, I mean, it is crazy, just off the wall. The entire episode was basically one big, long action scene. And there were so many neat things that happened in there. I'll try to kind of hit some of the high points, and then we'll see where we go from there. So, it starts out, obviously, with the Dr. Stylish and his goons kind of sending them in to attack on Night Raid. It actually starts out with Leone. She gets up, and of course she's the hot, busty, blonde, you know, Night Raid member. And she gets up, and they've been partying real hard because Tatsumi, of course, is back now, and, you know, upon his return, they had a big party. So everybody was probably drinking, maybe smoking a little bit, I don't know, right? So she gets up to kind of go out and just get a little walk at some fresh air, and as she goes to look down into this, into this pond, this pool, or whatever that's in front of her, all of a sudden, dude goes and appears, sees the reflection, he appears behind her, and looks like he takes her out, and I'm thinking, no, you know, and they've killed some people, they've taken out some Night Raid members in the last several episodes, last few episodes, to be, to 8 and 10, I believe, were the ones. Anyway, or maybe it was 8, 9, 6 and 8, I'm sorry. Anyways, so I was thinking, nobody's safe, you know, so we don't see her for a while, and she winds up going down, but just some awesome stuff, man. We wind up getting, finally Lubbock gets a little bit of action. You know, we actually get to see him as he's kind of, he's onto the fact, because some of his tripwires have been tripped, that there is somebody within the perimeter, and all of a sudden one of these crazed dudes comes busting in, and they kind of remind me, if anybody's ever played the Soul Calibur video game series, kind of reminds me of this guy Voldo, who I used to call Dildo, actually. Just sort of this weird-looking dude that does, like, gets down on all fours and, like, walks like crab walks and stuff like that. Just doesn't look human, you know? And that's what these kind of, you know, evolved, weird, scientific experiment things are. They kind of look like these weird little marionettes. Anyway, we get to see Lubbock in action going and taking out a couple of these things, and all of a sudden, like, 50 of them bust down the hallway and start chasing him. He's like, oh, shit! And he's running. I'm laughing my ass off, right? And then Akame goes and appears in her little jammy. She shows up, and she's like, oh, stand back, you know, because she's got the Murasame sword, right? She just goes through and just annihilates everybody, you know, and I'm thinking, oh, man. Then she winds up getting locked in a battle with this other Tegu user that looks like a fairly formidable opponent, but the thing we find out about this particular person is it doesn't seem like he feels any type of pain, so that was probably something that obviously that Dr. Stylish, who's just kind of a creepy dude, wound up working on and kind of, perfecting. For me, one of the highlights, though, was we wind up getting, there's this big dude that appears outside, this big cybernetic, cyborg-looking dude, and he's got Shelly's giant, her Tegu, her giant scissors, Ecstasy, I believe it was called, and with the little panda on it, all cute and stuff. And so, who comes busting out? But Tatsumi, with his Incursio armor on, and he starts wanting to go head-to-head with this guy, give it back type of thing, you know? But we know Tatsumi, he's still learning how to use that armor, right? He's still trying to go and figure out, how to, he's building up the stamina, he's figuring out what it can and can't do. So he comes right at this dude and winds up getting cut, right? And definitely not a good thing, but then all of a sudden, we get Mine winds up dropping in, right? And Mine's got a grudge, man. She is pissed off. We know that she's going to eventually go and take out that Seiryu and her Koro and everything else as revenge, or at least you think she's going to. That's pretty much what her life is probably about right now. Anyway, she sees this dude, and he sees that he's holding Shelly's her Tegu and whatnot. And, she goes and there's some words exchanged, and I love it because he goes and he jumps into the air and she aims her gun and everything. He's like, I'm so strong and fortified in this, I can take any gun blast, right? She goes and fires that bad bitch up, and this thing is just like the light and the heat, like radiating from like an exploding star. It's just like, it just hits this guy, and you just see the animation is so beautiful. You just see him just get disintegrated and fall apart. Nothing winds up hitting the ground except for the Tegu. The ecstasy, the giant scissors. Holy shit, man. I'm over here cheering. I'm going, whoa, I'm clapping and shit, getting all excited. I wound up getting recently a newer TV to have here in the studio office, and instead of watching anime on my computer screen, I'm watching it on this nice LED. It's 39-inch. Just everything looks so much better on it. I'm just chilling, sitting back like, oh, this is great. This is great. Anyways, Nagenda winds up showing up flying on a goddamn danger beast, this huge flying manta ray, and she's got these two cloaked figures knelt down behind her, right? And this is all being observed from a distance over on another ridge by this Dr. Stylish and some of his cohorts, So as they kind of see what's going on, they think that they've already taken down one of Night Raid, obviously, and they know that they're losing a lot of their troops, But Dr. Stylish is basically like, I don't care. These were prisoners that decided to go in exchange for a lightened sentence. Let me go do all these experiments. They're just fodder. I mean, they're truly just. He just wanted. I think, in a way, he just wanted to go and see what the strength of Night Raid was. Sure, if you take a couple of them out, great. But I think a lot of it was, let's see what I can do here. And just all in all, man, an awesome, awesome episode. So we wind up getting, as everybody winds up meeting back up over here, minus Nagenda, who's still flying overhead, we get everybody, Lubbock and Mine and all of them and Akame, they're all getting together, and all of a sudden everybody starts, and they get surrounded by a bunch of these crazy, weird, Voldo-looking freaks, And all of a sudden everybody goes and falls down, except for Tatsumi with the Incursio armor, and we see up on the ridge that this crazed-ass Dr. Stylish used some kind of poison on them, probably something airborne, I guess, right? Because he's talking about being downwind of it, everything else. Man, so everybody drops, they're all paralyzed, and it's looking really, really grim, right? All of a sudden, man, like a freaking missile just comes in. All of a sudden, we get introduced to one of the newest members of Night Raid, or the newest member of Night Raid that we've seen. This dude with these cool-looking horns and this badass battle spear with some cool-ass shit on the end, man, with spiked blade things. Susanoo. Oh my god, man, this dude just starts tearing people up. And now, mind you, these guys are fodder, so, taking out 30, 40, 50 of them for any Night Raid member, it doesn't seem to be too big of a deal. But just the way that he goes about it, and again, the animation, so beautiful. Faces getting caved in, and just completely beautifully done. I forgot to mention as well that prior to that, with everybody meeting up, Akame wound up, of course, getting the besting that other Tegu user. And this one was crazy. He had no pain, and he kept coming at her. She cut an arm off, and all of a sudden he popped a blade out of the arm. So obviously this had been one of those upgraded type of ones, kind of like Seiryu, where she had the gun in her mouth. Just crazy shit. But man, insane. This Susanoo dude, just off the charts, So anyway, so Nagenda goes and she eyeballs on the ridge Dr. Stylish and what's going on with that and everything, and says, radios to him or whatever, and says, okay, on the southeast ridge, go get him. So Susanoo goes over there. The doctor knows that he's about to get his ass kicked, so he hits himself with this injection and turns into this giant, crazed, hulked up, freaking like danger beast type guy, right? Starts eating his own people to get more sustenance so he can level up and get bigger. And I'm just thinking, man, this would make an awesome ass video game, right? So Susanoo's coming up against him, and this is what I liked about this is Susanoo's a badass, okay? You can tell that. You can say really cool character design, fast, strong, all that type of stuff. But we wind up getting Tatsumi goes and with his Incursio, he's going to go over there. Akame, who's still half paralyzed, kind of says, here, take me with you. So he throws her on his back, gives her a piggyback ride, and flies over there. And with the combined might of everybody of Night Raid, they wind up working together to take down this mad scientist. And that's what I thought was really awesome. It looked like nobody was going to get it because the Murasame couldn't cut through to actually, cut through his skin or what have you. So it was looking pretty grim for a minute, and then all of a sudden, man, dude gets blindsided, and we see that Mine hardly can even stand. It can hardly even hold her rifle, balancing it while riding on this freaking manta ray danger beast thing. goes and jacks him up a couple of times, knocks him back. As that happens, we get Tatsumi going and kind of, running up his stomach and his chest to go and to get to a weak point. And as he goes to nail him or whatever, you see Susanoo go and just stop that shit in its tracks. So it was really cool to see the whole team working together, man. Just off the charts. Excellent. And like I said, just action from start to finish, just all the way through. One big action scene. He winds up getting killed. Of course, Akame just winds up taking him out with her blade. And really just for me, it was a great showcase of not only the teamwork that can happen. And this is a team that, again, they got a couple of new members now with Tatsumi and, of course, the Susanoo. And it looked like there was another one up on the actual manta ray or whatever. So I'm assuming there's another team member we're going to be introduced to next week. Absolutely awesome. That's how the episode ends off, though. And actually, my episode question for you, I'm going to start doing occasionally, or maybe I'll do it all the time. We'll see how it is. I like to get interaction amongst everybody. But my episode question, instead of how did you like this or how did you like that, it's going to be a would you rather. Who would you rather? So in this particular one, if you had to go and you had to fight a Night Raid member, who would you rather fight? Akame or Susanoo? Leave your answer to that question in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next Fun Nation. Without all of you, none of this would be possible. Thanks for watching.